So in this video we're going to be editing something like this. Just love that cinematic look, and now I'll be showing you how I did that. So let's get into it, shall we? So there is the edited image, so I'm going to reset it, and that is the before. Right then. So let's have a look. So we start from this, and what I like to do, I always like to, sometimes I like to put auto, see how it goes, and I think it's a bit too warm. Because it does sometimes help you out when you just put the auto, but it doesn't always work out. But I do like orange. I like to add it, like I say, I like a cinematic look, beef up the contrast. Turn the highlights down because I will be doing this. I put up the whites, so as you can see, I like to do this with the blacks, depending on the image. Just got to be careful around here as well. You don't want to clip. Take down the clarity. Add the vibrance just about 20% and take it down about 18 or something like that. Scroll down, and the tone curve here. What I like to do, you know, do the S curve like you would. What I like to do as well is crush highlights, pump it up a little bit, put another one here, scroll down a bit. Sometimes I do like to bring it up quite a lot, or I can do it like this, if I can get it right. So crush the darks, sort of like this. That could work. Could work, right? Here we go. Just about in the middle. Just to try to make it central, neutral. It should be okay. And then with saturation, I could add a bit of orange, like, because I like the orange look. Put down a bit of yellow. Not much greens. Blues. No, not much blues either. I want to focus on the orange colours and stuff like that, just like you would do in cinema or whatever style, you know. Highlights, I do this a lot, put that at 6, 7, and then I put a bit of orangey red in the highlight, in the shadows. Sorry, you see it gives it a bit of a nice little look. So that's with details. I don't need to mess with that. I can always do this. Enable chroma, you know. Do all that. Picture thing. Yeah. Sometimes I do like to put a bit of a vignette in it so it focuses on the subject, but not too much so you don't get too vignette. Yeah. Let's look. Grain. I do like to add some grain as well. That is because I like that cinematic look. I like the old-fashioned kind of look. Obviously with my camera it's 42 megapixel. So it's quite hard to see, so you have to zoom in at times. You know, you'll be able to see a bit of, yeah, there you go, just up in the blacks you can always see a bit of the grain. So that's because I bumped it up to 18. Can't really notice that, but when it's on full screen or something like that, you'll be able to notice. Yeah, cool. Don't need to do colour, sharpening. You can put a bit of sharpening if you want. I'll just leave them. Oh yeah, the luminance as well. Dip touch the luminance. And what I like to do is just like go like that, up and down a little bit, and see how it works out on the oranges. Kind of like them darker actually. No, a bit of darker. I like the dark look. I like kind of mood. I love moods. Something that can play with your emotions. Lighten them perhaps. No. Kind of like to light it. But I don't like to do it too much. Not at all. Let's have a look. But then, actually no, what I can do by doing this. So I can use the shadow feature and stuff. Because I like to put down the blacks and then I'll add the shadows. Something like that maybe. Something like that. So let's press F. See how this looks. Don't look too bad, does it? I don't know if you can see the before and after actually. So the left is obviously the before, and then you got the after. You can see quite a bit of a difference there, can't you? Absolutely. You know, that's why we shoot in RAW as well. It's got a lot more information when you're editing it. But I love that colour. You know, just the orange teal, which is cool. Because that on the left looks a bit too cold. It's quite boring. Whereas that one on the right, you know. But you guys decide, you know, which one do you like the most out of. And I think that is that picture. And then what I like to do as well, copy that, so it copies all everything that you've done, and then add it to the next picture. For example, this picture. So you can do this, paste. Ta-da! Shot that in a different settings in the camera. So what I'd do is, for me, don't know how to do that. So I like to just put shadows, because you can see. Look at that. You know, it adds it there, and especially with the my camera that I've got, definitely really good. And then you got to do this again, and you'll notice the border, the chromatic aberration, just disappears. But I do like to add a little bit into it, not too much, but just so it focuses on that subject. And I might need to crop into that, to be honest. Let's have a look. Crop, 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 and then put it by 4x5. There we go. Leading lines as well, just the top you can see, you know. And there we go. Bit of a. There you go, and you can see I've still added the what do you call it? I've added the grain, and I've noticed that a lot of other photographers don't show you that, and I've not seen anyone talk about adding grain into your photographs, but it does make a difference, and I'll show you now. That's 21, and this is without. Look how clean that looks. You know, with my camera obviously it does help, because it's like I said, it's 44 megapixel, and I shot it at ISO 100, so you won't get no grain in that. Only if you know, put it up really dark and then you boosted the exposure up. So you can tell a difference, can't you? There you go, about 18% that. See a bit of a grain there, and it just looks more cinematic, don't you think? So yeah, that is that. As you can see, massive difference, right? You know, crushing the blacks as well, that's what I like to do. And that's that one. Maybe copy that. And then have a look at what else I've done. This one I'll do from scratch. So I'm not going to copy my thing here. So with this one, same again, I've got my own little unique way. Boosting the orange. The temperature up. Bit of that, 25. Depending on the lighting on that day as well. Turn that down a little bit, because the background starts coming alive, as you can see just behind him where the windmill is. You can start seeing that better. It's not blown out. Doing that will help with the highlights, shadows, boosting the whites up a bit, contrast. Add that, and then this is going to make a difference. Clarity, get rid of that. Vibrance up a little bit, saturation down. Not too far this time though. Here we are, the curve again. And to be honest, I didn't have a clue about the curve when I was starting off, and I tell you now, I do recommend doing it. You know, it's a powerful tool, is the tone curve, because it just changes it massively. Highlights up. I like to put this down a little bit, but you'll notice that by just watching something like me, you'll maybe copy for a little bit, and then you'll start adding your own swing to things. You know, you can add your own little, you know, if you don't like it too black, you don't have to do it too dark. You don't have to make it too contrasty like I do. So that's pretty cool. Maybe less of crushing the blacks this time. Maybe make it because it's dark. And then I could add this going down like that, and then I could add a bit of shadows into that if I wanted to. Saturation, we like the oranges, don't we? Add a bit of an orange and a bit of red. Get rid of all the yellows. Same with the greens, we don't want that. If you look at the background, got more blue in the sky, of course. Get rid of that, so you're not focusing too much on that. As you can see, luminance as well. Kind of like lighting up the sky, so orange, make it a bit dark perhaps. So look, actually, kind of like it like that. About 6, I think. Yellow, bit of yellow as well. I think that should be it for that one. Same again with the highlights, the split toning. Maybe put a little bit in the blue in the highlights. Come down here with the orange. Add a bit of it, about 8 or something like that, and you can see quite a difference with adding a bit of shadow to it. And then do the same again. We might remove chromatic aberration and enable profile correction for the lens, because I use the 85mm Sony lens 1.8, and it automatically chooses it for you. It knows which one you use, which is pretty cool. There you go. Same again, add a bit of grain, I think. 17, that'll do it. Gotta make sure your subject stands out as well. Let's have a look. Zoom in, zoom in. When it buffers correctly. By the way, they're not real guns, so they were airsoft. As much as they look cool. There we go. And I shot this at 1.8 as well, so it won't be too focused. So I'm clipping something here, as you can see. Highlights are clipping. So what you can do, pump it down a bit, and then that should go. Full screen it, and there we have it. A man sitting on his car. Great stuff. You can see the let's have a look. Before and after. Anyway, yeah, you can see definitely a difference there. You know, the left one's a bit too blue, while the right is more cinematic. Because on the left, it just feels like the highlights are quite harsh. So yeah. So this is another one, just of the SMG. So I'll use my preset. Voila. You know, and I think with this one, I think I can, and I will, probably add some more highlights to the here. Not too much, but I will add some at there, where the light is. I think it deserves a bit of because it needs some attention. Just here. Kind of looks like silver, but if you add that down, just that little soul, that's all it needs, not much. Clarity as well, perhaps. Bit of the clarity. Bit more contrast, I think. Bit down actually, a bit more. Done, I think, you know, that. So, let's have a look at that. And there you have it, you know. Let's have a look at it before and after. And that's pretty cool, you know. Within my photography, I just love that detail. I love capturing the details. I've already edited this one, you know, just off the subject itself. And then there's another one I edited this one. I love these kind of shots as well. You know, it's not just the face, it's just literally, it's just more of the detail you know, textures and stuff like that. Love that commercial photography. And then you've got this one here. That one there, I've used the same preset I did. What I did there, I lit this up. You can see a bit of a glow, just where it is, where the writing is. When it comes to details as well, you know, I love pictures like this. You know, I've edited that as well. You can see. But I'll show you the before and after in this one. Very different. Left, as you can see before, bit dull, bit grey. And then that one is a bit more alive, isn't it? Stop that. Back in the room. And that is how I get that cinematic looking photograph. I hope you guys found this interesting. If you did, why don't you give me a thumbs up? And if you're new around here, why don't you subscribe? It's free. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video.